I can't believe it. They're taking my truck away. I got picked up by one of your traffic cameras. Now, despite us getting into trouble over trying to help Noah out on a previous job, he has offered us some work, and sounds like a chap called Walter is looking for a farmhand to help him out. So we are not welcome at Willie's for the night. We've got no choice but to accept the sheriff's offer. Sheriff, this is Watchtower. You're coming in loud and clear. Standing by on lookout for any fires. Over and out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. I am up in the Firewatch Tower on a rather mild September evening, and we are conducting the Firewatch duties on behalf of Sheriff Bob and the local police department. Now, we were able to come to a bit of an arrangement with Sheriff Bob last time, as he did impound our truck. However, he is very light on deputies at the moment, and as we were looking for work, he decided to strike a deal with us that we would do the Firewatch duty this evening, and in return he would give us our truck back. So as you can see, I needed a change of clothes, so I have donned the Firewatchman's uniform, and I have been looking out across the various sectors of Riverbend Springs to check for any fires. Luckily, it's been a quiet evening and sunset so far. It's 7 o'clock and the sun has just gone down, so I think we will radio to check in on the hour like we normally do and confirm that everything is looking good so far. So I'll just grab the radio and check in with Sheriff Bob. Firewatch to Sheriff, Firewatch to Sheriff. Come in, over.
In line of sight, directly across from the vehicle.
Firewatch to Sheriff's Office. This is the 7 o'clock check-in. All is looking clear and okay. Nothing to report. Over and out. Right, that is that dealt with. We do check in on the hour, so I'm told, but we do have to remain pretty vigilant throughout. But as it's 7 o'clock, I think I'm going to get the furnace lit and we can potentially make a nice cup of tea and maybe a bit of dinner. Nice cup of tea always goes down well. Right, let's take a look around and ensure we are all good. Now we do start to hear some of the animals at night, but due north is looking pretty clear. And the eastern sector is looking very tranquil and quiet. Nothing to report. You can see the shimmering water in the south, but all is quiet on this front. And lastly, the west, which is also very quiet and tranquil. Right, that's another round of checks done. We do that every 15 minutes or so with the binoculars. But I think I might sit down, grab a book and read a few pages until the next check. Oh, it is certainly tiring work doing all this checking. It's about another 15 minutes until we need to check in over the radio with the sheriff's department. And yeah, I think it's probably time that we don the binoculars again and do another check. Not much to report to the north. Town has simmered down now and is pretty quiet. Most people are in bed. Still very quiet over in the east, and the cloud cover has cleared up, and with the full moon out, visibility is very good. Things in the south are looking nice and quiet as well. Very peaceful. Hang on a minute. Is that smoke I see? It is smoke. Quick, we better raise the alarm. Better report this in fast. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Firewatch reporting a potential fire. Smoke seen billowing from the tree line south of the watchtower position. Approximate bearing 190 and approximate location 88, 89, 90. Distance half a mile.
5-1, I copy unit in 2 out.
Roger that. Firewatch standing by. Oh my god, the fire is really raging now. It's not too far, so I better go check that no one's hurt. I think the fire is just on the other side of this tree line. Holy moly. Well, the fire crew have been battling the barn fire for a couple hours now, but sadly it is a battle lost as they could not tackle the blaze and it ripped through the barn and it is now left in a smouldering pile of ashes. I can't get too close because it is still quite hot. I've been in touch with Sheriff Bob. He is on his way over to come and inspect. I'm not sure why he didn't come here earlier, to be honest, but by my reckoning it looks like campers. There's some tents over here, and I think in the middle of the barn I can see what looks to be a barrel, and I imagine that is the source of the fire. And strangely, we can see that there were some scarecrows or wicker men set up. Now there were more, a couple of them have burnt down, but 2 that are left around the edge, which is very strange. It looks like there was some odd activity going on here, and I don't really want to hazard a guess as to what it was. So I think we will let Sheriff Bob come and inspect this area and gather all the evidence he needs to investigate. Evening, Sheriff. Yep, that's right. The barn was fully ablaze by the time I got here. Luckily the fire crews managed to keep it contained to just the barn, because the surrounding woodland could have gone up quite easy. Oh, I see. I didn't know there were troublemakers camping out in Riverbend at the moment. I'm guessing that's what these tents are doing here. Take a look at those odd wicker men, Sheriff. Seems like there was something odd going up here. Right, I'll leave you to your investigations. I better get back to the watchtower. Well, what an evening it has been. I'm going to leave the sheriff and the fire crew to finish up what they are doing, and we can make the short trek back to the watchtower. I think it's just through the woods here, over the other side of the road and into the woods again, and we'll be near the watchtower. There's the watchtower. We're on the right track. Well, it's good to be back. Hang on a minute. What's that ball doing in the back of the truck? Oh, I didn't leave that there. Has that blown off from the top? Or is someone messing with us? Hello? Is anybody out there? Oh, it must be my imagination. Don't know why there'd be anyone out here at this time other than those campers causing problems. Right, let's get back up to the watchtower and hopefully see in the rest of the night peacefully. What an evening. Made it back so we can turn off the torch. What an evening. But our Firewatch duties do not end there. We must stay vigilant. But if we were to have 2 fires in one night, that would be bad luck for sure. Hopefully it's quiet from here on out and we can get a little bit of rest too. Well, good morning. Day has finally broken after a rather eventful evening, and I've been sipping my morning coffee, watching over the area that it happened and mulling over the evening's events. Certainly was just our luck to experience the first fire for a long time in Riverbend Springs. But the good news is that Sheriff has been in touch over the radio this morning and we are being relieved of duty. So I think I'm going to get changed and we can head back in the Sheriff's truck to go get our own truck. Feels good to be back in our own gear. Right, let's head on down the stairs and get back to the Sheriff's office, as I think we're going to need a little bit of a rest. There we go. And of course, we had the rather odd situation where the beach ball that was on the watchtower has ended up in the back of the pickup. So I'm not sure if that has blown off or if someone decided to play tricks on us and place it there, but I think we will just leave it there. Let's hop in and we can get back to the Sheriff's office. Down the old long dirt track road. And if we just nip round the corner here, I think we are at the site. Oh, I see. They have cordoned it off. That's probably for the best, to be honest. I can't see anyone in the car. I guess the deputy must be patrolling. But yeah, we won't get any closer. But yeah, they've cordoned off the whole area and looks like they're going to be investigating, so I think they believe it's suspicious, which makes sense as there was some very odd wicker men and scarecrows dotted around, and the tents, and of course the fire. That is very strange. I will have to see what comes of it in terms of news, but let's get back to the Sheriff's office and we can grab a much needed rest. Over the railway tracks, and we'll pull up in front of the Sheriff's office and hopefully we can get the keys back to our truck. Sheriff Bob, are you in? Well, the Sheriff is not in, but he has left us a note with our keys. Thanks for all of your help last night. It's a good thing the fire didn't spread to the forest. I'm still short on deputies. Could you do the Firewatch duty this evening again? Regards, Sheriff Bob. Well, I'm not really sure what to make of Sheriff Bob's request. Obviously, we did Firewatch duty last night and we had quite an eventful one. But we have nowhere else to stay, really, so we might not have much choice. But aha, I can see our truck in the yard over the road, and it has been unmounted from the trailer. So, now we've got our keys, we can finally get our treasured truck back. Oh, feels good to be back in the old girl. I think my plan is, because we need a bit of rest, I am going to head to the garage, pull up and get a couple of refreshments, and hopefully we can just have a couple hours kip in the cab, and then we'll have to see what we've got in store for the afternoon. I'm not quite brave enough to show my face in the cafe again, but I was thinking we could potentially go and speak to Walter. He was a very friendly face, despite obviously knowing that we had a slight run-in with the police, but I get the impression that he knows that Sheriff Bob is a bit of a funny character and has given us the benefit of the doubt. So I think I will pull in here and pull up in the parking lot, go grab some snacks, and then we can have a little kip. Nice, well-needed nap. Only 3 hours, but we have rested and recuperated as best we can. We spent a little bit of money in the garage buying a drink and some breakfast to keep us fed. But yes, I think it's probably time we better get on with some work to see if we can get some more money. But the good thing is, because we did the Firewatch duty for the sheriff, we got the truck back without having to pay an extra $5,000 release fee. So I think we will pull out of here and we will head over to go and see if Walter is kicking about. Hopefully, he might have some work for us. Certainly is nice starting to see some of the autumnal colours coming into Riverbend Springs. We are well and truly into autumn now. Right, if I remember correctly, I think it's this left turn over the dirt railway crossing and into Walter's yard. Here we go. Right, is Walter about today? Aha, I think he is. Brilliant. Hello, Walter. It's good to see you again. Aha, so I see you heard about all the trouble in South Riverbend. Yes, there was a fairly substantial fire that took out a barn. I'm not quite sure why the sheriff had us do the Firewatch duty. I think he's short of deputies at the moment, but fortunately for us, it meant that we could get our truck back. The reason for the visit is I was wondering if you had any work that we could help you with, as we're obviously trying to raise some money to buy our own land and create some sort of living for ourselves here. And funnily enough, Walter has some fields that need to be stone picked. There's two fields, field 27 and 49. Walter was quite willing to lend us his equipment to do the job. And it is quite a tedious job, so he has said that he's quite keen for us to do this, and he would pay us a fair wage, minus any costs for borrowing his tractor and fuel etc. But yeah, I think we are going to give this a go for both the fields. Well, thanks, Walter. We will get right on that. The equipment's behind the barn, you say? Okay, yep. We'll probably head to the furthest field away first. And yeah, we'll do what you say. Take the trailer and then also take the stone picker separately. Are we alright to leave the pickup here? Job's a good one. Thanks, Walter. We will see you later. Alright, Walter said the equipment was the other side of the barn. I think this is the tractor. And around here. Oh, there we go. We have the trailer and we have the stone picker. Walter sure does have a fine inventory of equipment, but we are in the Challenger again. We used this one to do the cultivating for Walter previously, and we get to utilize it again. Now, Walter did give us instruction that we should take the trailer over first, and the trailer is going to be needed to deposit the stones into after we have collected, because the stone picker-upper, or stone collector, can only take so many stones in its smaller hopper. Right, we need to get to field 49 first of all. So let's head off and get there, and we'll have to do a return trip for the stone picker, and then it'll be the same to get over to field 27. My first time driving a trailer on the road, so better be careful and deploy the hazards as we don't have a beacon on this tractor. Seems the route over to Field 49 takes us through town and past the sheriff's office. Right, I think it's a left turn here. I think in the distance I can see the paper mill where we delivered some of the logs for Noah. I wonder what Noah has been up to the last couple of days. Right, I believe Field 49 is dead ahead and we can take a right here. And there's a track that runs parallel to it. So I think that's the best bet. Oh, cut in front of a car there. Apologies. And aha, here we go. Lots of rocks and stones that we can see. Right, we are in the right place for certain. So I think what we'll do is actually hop out and we can deposit the trailer here. Alright, just unhitched the trailer so we can hop back in and go grab the rock picker. Okay, we've made it back, so we can pull right into the field. And Walter did say, for this implement we will have to unfold it and then switch it on, which is a couple of different buttons and levers in the tractor that he did show us. But he did say in principle it's not too much different to the cultivating we did, other than the cultivator is not kind of on a pivoting point. It's not attached to the 3-point linkage. It is a towed implement, so we just have to watch out for the swing as we turn. But same principle, that we should do some headlands, as they're called, and then we could break into the ups and downs. But let's unfold this. We can really turn off the hazards, we don't need them. But there we go, unfolding the arms. That is excellent. And we can switch on the implement. There we go, switched on. I think we can pull forward a little bit, not reverse, and lower it down. There we go. And we should start to see some rocks getting picked up. And there we go. And you can see it is collecting up the rocks. Be interested to see how many loads full we get. But, oh, yeah, got to watch my widths. I'm going over some of the grass area. But there we go, we are rock picking. So, I'm going to crack on with this, and then we'll crack on with the next field. And then we can report back to Walter. Right, we have switched off, raised up and folded away, and we've finished rock clearing both fields. And I had to pick up a little stray bit just at the end there, and that's because with rock picking you leave no stone unturned, that's for sure. And all of those stones that we remove from the field is really to stop damage to Walter's equipment when he's coming to do other things like seeding and then other things like cultivating and all sorts of manner of operations in the field where large chunky stones can damage the metal but delicate equipment. So yes, there we go, another portion of stones unloaded, and it's quite interesting how this stone picker unloads by raising up the whole hopper and then dropping it off out of a little hatch. But we have the stone picker attached already, so what I think we'll do is come back for the trailer, take the stone picker back to Walter's first of all. But what an absolutely lovely view to be finishing that job in front of. The river with its oranges and yellows from the autumn leaves, and the bridge in the distance. And it's still quite misty, which, yeah, is interesting. Riverbend Springs sure is a misty kind of place. Right, let's head back to Walter's, drop off the stone picker, and we'll be back for the trailer full of stones. And we'll have to see what Walter wants us to do with those stones. Aha! So this is the fire department, and yes, I now recall we passed this when we came to check out a reasonably priced piece of land. So yeah, handy to know where the fire station is, and of course those guys were busy last night putting out that fire. Right, I think it's a left turn here, and then we should be nearly at Walter's. Stone picker dropped back, and we can go and fetch the trailer of stones. Back to the trailer, we'll swing round and get it hitched up, super speedy, there we go. Back into Walter's East Farm, and we can get the stones dropped off. 2,434 litres of stones. That is pretty good going. So let's just unhitch the trailer, and we can park up the trailer where we found it and report into Walter. Hey Walter, that's all taken care of now. So for field 49, Walter is giving us $2,400. And for the smaller field 27, he is giving us $969. And that is taking into account the equipment we borrowed. Excellent. Thank you so much, Walter. I think we now have just enough money to buy the cheapest plot of land. But we probably should earn a bit more money so we've got some excess in case we have any emergencies. Oh, that's very kind of you, Walter. I didn't know that the stones could be taken to the cement factory and turned into cement. That will come very much in handy when we need to build a house. Thank you. One more job for the day, you say? Yeah, I guess so. We have time, and I'm not feeling quite so tired anymore. Alright, Walter, we'll see you over at that field. Catch you in a bit. Okay, well, the good news is we've got the rock contracts sorted for Walter, and he has paid us quite handsomely. So we have enough money to buy the cheapest plot of land on Riverbend Springs now. But we do need to earn a bit more money, so we've got some in the reserves and for any extras that we might need. But what was quite nice is that the stones that we collected from Walter's field, he's offered to keep for us, because he says that it might come in handy when we build our house to take the stones over to the cement factory, and that could be used to make cement for a fee, and that would contribute towards some of the building materials. So that is very nice of him, and yeah, it's a good suggestion. And he has asked us if we've still got a bit of time this afternoon to do one more job. He hasn't said what it is, but he's told us to go meet him at one of his fields. Field 35, I think it is. Right, I think 35 is just a left here, and interestingly is one of the fields we were scoping out a place to buy and build land. I think 34 is the cheapest and 35 is this plot here. Right, let's park up and we will wait for Walter to see what he's got in store for us. I've just been having a little rest, and oh, I can see that Walter's family member has come to drop off the tractor for us. Fantastic. Well, there we go. Oh, they have scarpered quite quickly. That's good. Well, looks like, and I'd hazard a guess that it was going to be the case, that we are going to be doing some mowing, as there is grass in this field. I guess that was the only thing that we could have been doing. And yeah, Walter has suggested that this is probably the last opportunity he has to cut before the end of autumn and winter kicks in. So let's jump in, and we are in the John Deere 6R165. Fantastic. Right, so we can fire up, and Walter did say that we would have to unfold both mowers. Oh, there we go. I think that's the right button and a lever. And he has suggested that we go around the field clockwise, so we are not kind of driving in the grass, and we don't have the rear mower sort of hanging out of the field, and we arrange it accordingly. So yeah, have done a bit of ride-on mowing for my granddad, but nothing in a tractor, so this is going to be interesting. But let's switch on the equipment. There we go. Actually, we want to switch that off and switch on both pieces of equipment. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll head in and... oh, need to remember my front ways and reverse ways. We'll lower the front mower. There we go. And swing on in, and then lower the rear mower. There we go. Right, okay. We will get this cut quite nicely. I can actually raise and lower both pieces of equipment at the same time, but for entering the field it's probably best to do it that way. There we go, we can raise up the front mower and raise up the rear mower, turn around and go back to do the same. Front mower down, rear mower down, and off we go. And there we go. Let's shut off both mowers, not lower, shut them off. There we go. Right, that was very smooth, if I say so myself. I think we took to that quite well, quite easily, and yeah, things just seem to go quite right. I did maybe raise the rear mower a bit too fast at one point, and there was a couple of little patches missed, but overall I think we've done a pretty good job, and we mowed all of that. Well, Walter did say to leave the tractor here, as he is bringing a windrower and a forage wagon over, or potentially a baler actually, to come and collect up the grass. He intends to give it to his sheep, which will keep them happy over winter. So yeah, he's obviously too late in the year, I think, to ted this into hay. But yeah, he could at least get grass out of it. So yeah, we're going to leave the tractor here, and we'll go back and see Walter, as he obviously has a bit more money for us now that we have done that grasswork for him. And yeah, I guess we'll see what he thinks of it. Right, we've made it back to Walter's, and we can give him a toot. Aha, he's still here. Right, let's have a word with him. Hey Walter, we did the mowing, and I think we've done a fairly decent job. Oh, I'm pleased to hear you're impressed with the mowing. Yeah, we took to it quite well. Just over $1,200 is what Walter is giving us for mowing that field. We are very happy with that. Excellent. Thanks so much, Walter. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tonight. The sheriff has offered us another duty of Firewatch. Oh, so that's your houseboat down by the water. I didn't realise it was yours, but that makes sense because your advert was in the boathouse window. Oh yes, thanks for the offer, and I will let you know. Cheers, Walter. Right, some good news, and yeah, see you later, Walter. Take care. And the good news is that Walter has informed us that he has a houseboat down by the lake, and I think it's one that we saw when we were passing the lake coming back from doing a wood transportation contract for Noah, and he has offered us the ability to stay there, which is really good. Obviously that will come at a fee. I think he said he charges about $100 a night, which seems pretty fair to me. And yeah, it would make use of the houseboat, which he doesn't get to use too often because he's quite busy on the farm. But it's obviously a additional option to the one we had from Sheriff Bob, which was to do another Firewatch duty for him. So yeah, I thought we'd head over to the lake, go check it out, and we can see what's what. I think the lake is just over the crest of this hill, and this water tower here is all too familiar a sight. This is very close to where the fire was last night. Here we go. We have reached the lake, and oh, it is beautiful. Look at that. And yeah, I think that is Walter's houseboat that he's talking about over across the water. And let's pull in. Oh, it looks like the fire truck is here. I imagine they've been refilling their water tank from the lake. And yeah, Riverbend Springs has been petitioning for a proper fire truck. They only have a small but very mobile pickup and tank to go and extinguish and respond to fires. So yeah, that'll be interesting. There we go. Let's park up and we can head out onto the jetty and take a look at houseboat. Fantastic. I think we would probably have to get some sort of rowing boat like that one. That's under the boat shed there to row out to it. But there we go. That looks like a very nice option and would give us a bit of living space and comfort, that's for sure. But there we go. Options, options, options. And it'll be interesting to hear what you think we should do, whether we should do the Firewatch duty for Sheriff, or if we should take up Walter's offer for staying at his boathouse. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time on the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.